I saw a post in the DJ help desk yesterday that I thought was really good. I actually replied to it. I wanted to read my reply and go into a little more detail with it in this video today. Here's the post. Cedric Jones asked this question. I know this is probably a long shot. Does anyone have a YouTube channel that isn't DJ gear focused? That's a legit question. Whenever you see a DJ on YouTube, a lot of times they're showing their equipment, or they're showing equipment and giving a review of some kind. I don't watch other DJs' videos, by the way. I used to. I just don't anymore because it feels like a big advertisement sometimes. I'm just not interested. Unless there's a product I'm specifically looking for, I don't look at these videos. So I guess I understand his question, and maybe even frustration. Let me read you my reply. My channel started out as more of a general outreach thing. We're talking 2007 here. It was a lot more about sharing what DJing was like where I live, gig logs, music, etc. And I considered myself as more of a student of DJing than anything else. In 2007, beginning of 2007, is when I did my first video. I'd been a DJ for over 20 years. I started in 84, and then I started doing mobiles in 89, so I had been doing mobile stuff for almost 20 years, but DJing for longer than that. But there's still a lot that I didn't know. There were a lot of concepts and things that I was just never exposed to, and I was watching other DJs' videos to learn about this stuff. It was fun. I knew what I knew, and I felt like I had things to contribute from the mobile perspective, but there were other things that I wanted to know about. And it was a lot more friendly than forums. Forums were cold, and some of the answers were cold. You couldn't see the person's facial expressions when they were telling you something. You didn't know when they were being sarcastic or when they were being serious, or how committed they were to their answers. Sometimes in forums, people just want to be right, even if they're not. So I thought the video thing was cool. I liked the concept, and so I started doing that to learn and to share and to help. I'll go on here. Let's see. What's the next thing I say? There was a group of probably 20 or 30 of us from all over the world, and we'd shoot videos back and forth to each other. This was a lot of fun. We used to be able to do video replies on YouTube. There were DJs from the East Coast, the West Coast, Canada, Australia, all over the UK, Germany, and other parts of Europe. We were learning what they were doing, and we were learning about how it was where they lived as far as, the gigs went. And even my gig logs, I tried to make them. They weren't hero stories. There were a lot of fails in those. My old loud truck that I was driving around and my old clunky gear that I was hauling around and some of the issues that I'd run into. I'd share all that stuff in the gig logs. And the reason I did it was I thought that would be relatable to somebody who was out there going through the same struggles I was. They were not hero stories. I was not driving a brand new vehicle with beautiful equipment that I was showing everybody and telling you how I saved the day. That was not the purpose of the gig logs at all. But anyway, let's see. Next. The gear-related videos did better than most anything else, but it was mostly the old stuff I was using. So I did a video on my 80J Sunlight. Somebody saw it in one of my gig logs and said, hey, what's that light? So I did a video on it. They hadn't made the light in over 10 years, I don't think, but I did a video on it. Or my old speakers, or, anything that I had, my old amplifiers. Just, kind of showing what they are and what they did and why I used them. And a lot of the stuff, back then I was mismatching speakers and amps. I wasn't doing it right. It took a long time for me to get my head around the whole ohms and impedance and watts and program and max and all of those things. Those are the kind of things I was learning along the way. I didn't know them before that. I learned them through YouTube, either from other users or some research or a video somebody else had done. That was cool. It was a cool learning experience. And those are things that I just didn't know. I knew about my mobile performance stuff, and I felt like I was pretty good with the music stuff, but some of the tech stuff I wasn't real strong with. So I learned a lot from other YouTubers back then. And you got to remember something before I go any further. I think this is a good place to insert this. Back then, You did this because you wanted to. There was no monetary gain from this. You couldn't monetize videos. There were no ads. How do you make money doing this? We did it because we wanted to, because it was fun. We wanted to help. We wanted to learn. That's why we did the videos. And again, we're going back a long time. 17 years? I don't know, whatever it is. Okay, to move on. Then, companies started reaching out, wanting to do product placement. I remember when this first happened to Jonathan, the DJ tutor over in Wales. I think it was Vestax reached out to him with some turntables they had. And oh, he was excited. And it was cool. It's like, oh my gosh, they see us. Somebody out there sees us. These companies are watching, and wow, hey, free stuff, that's pretty cool, right? I was jelly as heck. But then it happened to me with ADJ a couple months later. And after a while, I go on here to say, then companies started reaching out and wanting to do product placement. The more stuff they sent, the more obligated I was to do videos on product. Yeah, so it was cool to do the vlogs and the gig logs and all of that stuff. And it was cool to get equipment. But it kind of became this full-time job to get videos out on the equipment they sent. So, you get 1 or 2 likes. It's a lot of fun to show those things. But when you're starting to get several things a month, that's what you do now. You just do videos on product. And I made it a point to tell any company that wanted product placement in my videos that if I like your product, I'll do a demo on it. I don't want to review it. I mean, who cares what I think? I'm going to show you what it is, what it does, maybe some ideas on how to use it. You make up your own mind if it's what you want. Who cares if I like it or not? I mean, sometimes I'll tell you, but that's not why I'm doing the videos. This isn't, the world according to me. This is just a demonstration of a product. But it becomes a full-time job, and it did. It became a full-time job. And there wasn't a lot of time to do other videos, because just getting these product videos out just consumed all of my time, right? Again, back then we weren't monetizing. Eventually we did, and that was cool. I mean, the money isn't great on that, by the way. It's okay. It's getting less and less sometimes. But, usually with the money that I get from monetization on my videos, I might be able to pay for most of a trip to the grocery store. Not the whole thing, but most of it. That's how it is today. And I'm not doing videos for clicks and likes and views. I'm doing videos that I think are interesting. And to my, I guess, fault, I'm doing it that way. I'm not trying to actively get a lot of views so I get a lot of monetization. That's just not my style. I'm just doing videos that I like to do, and if you like them, great. If you don't, you don't. I'm not trying to take over the world here. I'm not trying to draw people to the channel. I'm just doing what I do, and if you find me and like me, cool. If you don't, that's fine too. Well, thank you. We're still friends. Anyway, I move on to say, and this is true, since COVID, I feel like I've taken things back to the original roots of it all. And I did. I mean, there wasn't a lot of new gear coming in, so let's talk about other things. Let's talk about mixing, programming, how to set things up, how to handle certain situations. And those are the kind of vlogs that I like to do. There's a lot of those on my channel. More so now than there was for a long time, because again, it was just so gear focused. There are so many companies that I've been working with, and I was just obligated to get X amount of videos out a month for them. There wasn't a lot of time for the other stuff. I wasn't even thinking about it. I mean, I was so exhausted just showing you the flashy light that I didn't have time to do much of anything else. But anyway, I go on to say, however, over the past 17 years, I've learned a lot about DJs in general, along with the supply and demand of product, which has put me in a unique position to do some consulting. I've mentioned this before. What is that? Well, yeah, I'm doing video on product for companies, but I'm also, talking to the marketing people, and I'm talking to the product development people, the R&D people, and giving them ideas. I kind of feel like I'm a liaison here because I learned a lot about the DJ industry over the past 17 years working with these other companies. ADJ, for example, I traveled with them all over Europe, all over the US. And when I traveled with them, the people who I was spending time with, going to dinner with, hanging out with, all that stuff. For ADJ, it was the VP of the whole company. It was the brother of the founder. It was the PR guy who was, he's amazing. This guy used to work for Time Warner Music. He used to ghostwrite all the biographies for Time Warner artists, like back in like the 90s. Smart guy, man. I mean, and then the marketing director of the company. Those were the people I hung out with, and they taught me so much about how their end of things work. And I've taken that knowledge and I've parlayed it into working with some of these other companies. And I'll give you one example of what I'm talking about on a consulting basis. I told you in a video or two ago that I have been doing work with Ape. I was working with them up until COVID, 2018 to COVID, and then I just started working with them again in spring. And yeah, I'm doing videos for them and stuff. I like the product. If I didn't like the product, I wouldn't do the videos on it. And again, I try to do demos. I'm not doing reviews as such. But on the consulting end of things, when I first started working with them and I was asking about the product, they were telling me that it has really good sound active. And when I started using the product at home, I tried it, and this was not normal. This was not what ADJ lights or any other lights were doing. This is different. They're talking to each other. They got algorithms. They're staying in sync. This is different. But to call it sound active makes it sound kind of weak. And it's not weak. It's really good. So we talked about it. And I said, we can't just call this sound active. We have to give it a name. So well, what do you suggest? I said, well, I don't know. But sound active isn't getting anybody excited. Let's give it a name and demonstrate what it does and show that it's different. So it was left at that. About 3 weeks later, I woke up early one morning and it came to me. I made the call right away. I said, music mode, spelled with a K. This makes sense. Let's call it that. And they said, we like it. Let's do it. And within hours, everything was changed on the websites to music mode. So if you have ever used music mode and you know the term music mode, that's my fault. And that's part of my consulting. That's what I do. And that's just an example. And there are a lot of people who work at these big companies that you may, well, you definitely know. I mean, the biggest companies out there that make DJ product. And a lot of those people, at one time or another, were DJs. But, you know, they haven't been a DJ in 30 years. So they're kind of out of touch with what our struggles are and what our needs and wants are and what we like. So I'm able to kind of come in sometimes and say, maybe not that here. Let's try this. I think this is going to be helpful for these DJs. And, you know, it's just a consult. It's not necessarily going to do what I say, but I'm going to give them some insight. And that's the consulting thing. And I'll make suggestions. They can take them or leave them. They're just ideas, but I'm there for them and I'm thinking about it. And again, the liaison between the DJs and them. Because I'm still an active DJ, still doing this stuff. I rattled on for a long time on that one. So I do that too, but only for companies who are making products or providing services that I see value in for the average DJ. I've had companies that have sent me product before. They get me excited about it. We talk about it. Okay, let's give it a try. They send it. I get it. And I hate it. I mean, I really hate the product. Either it's difficult or I know there's products out there that are better, more feasible. Why would I show anybody this product that it's really substandard? It's not serving anyone well. It's not serving the DJ well. And at this point, I'm a salesperson, and I don't want to be a salesperson. A lot of DJ channels out there are salespeople. They're trying to sell product. Their sales pitch on their videos maybe are pretty good, But they're they're almost salespeople, you know? And maybe they're taking commission for this stuff. I don't know. There are others out there who have made their own product lines, put their names on it. I'm not interested in doing any of that. If I have an idea for a product, I'll share it with a company that I know can build the product, and they'll maybe do it, maybe not. But no, I'm not interested in being a retail salesperson or a pitchman or a ShamWow guy. Not interested at all. I just want to do demonstrations of products that I think have value for someone, even if it's not me, for someone. Maybe I'll do a video on, I don't know, one of those, tripod T-bar setups that flash and shine light in an audience. I mean, it's not my thing. I've talked about that before. I don't like doing that. But I know a lot of DJs do. And so a lot of DJs are going to see value in this. And I might do a video on it. It's not for me, but I can see how it could be for somebody. But if something's just not a good product, I don't think it's a good quality product, or it's a difficult product, or there's something out there better than that product, I'm not going to do a video on it. That's just me. And I'm going back and regressing. But anyway, that's where we are. And that's who I am. And that's what I'm doing. And I don't watch a lot of other videos from other DJs just because it's a lot of sales pitch stuff. Some people get into this because they want to get something out of it, like a monetary gain. And when it doesn't happen for them, when they don't get the viewership, when they don't get anybody who wants to work with them, they throw in the towel. I'll tell you right now, whether anybody's working with me or not, any of these companies, or there's any money involved, I'm still going to be doing videos, because I started off doing videos for a different reason than a lot of these other people started off doing videos. I'm not saying I'm better than they are. I've just got a different mindset about this than a lot of people do. I'm not an expert. I'm the furthest thing from an expert. Again, I'm kind of a student. I'm learning as I go. I make mistakes. But I'm trying to help. And once in a while, I need some help too. And I get it from some of you folks in the comment sections. I like doing this. I get a lot out of it. And, hopefully I can help somebody out there too. The more I can help you guys, the happier I am. I want to help. And once in a while you're going to see a demo. And if you see a demo on a product that's not for you, that's okay. I get it. It might not be for me either. It might be for me though. We're all a little different. So yeah, try not to make it all product video. That's just me though. If there's a channel out there doing all product video, good for them, good on them. That's just not why I'm here. And I try really hard not to focus too much on that. Although there are times when you just get a flood of product. And that may happen soon. There's a lot of product coming in. You may see a lot of product videos, but just know that that's not why I'm here. I just have to get this stuff knocked out in a timely manner. Some people love it. People love the gear videos. They really do. They would rather watch the gear videos than what I'm doing right now. What I'm doing right now probably won't get mad views. But the gear videos, the right gear videos, will get mad views. Like the Pioneer stuff, oh my God. So it just depends. Anyway, I regress. I'm done. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you guys tuning in so much. Thank you for being you. Thank you for your likes and your comments and all that fun stuff. And we'll see you next time. Practice and enjoy.